We are enormously grateful to the Deputy Prime Minister and his office for hosting us tonight in this prestigious building, Admiralty House. It was the official residence of the First Lords of the Admiralty until 1964, and it has also been home to several British Prime Ministers on occasions when Downing Street was being renovated. The US President John F. Kennedy attended a meeting here with the Prime Minister Harold Macmillan way back in 1962 to discuss the Allies' reaction to the communist threat and more wide-ranging matters as well. Winston Churchill lived here while serving as the First Lord of the Admiralty, interestingly, for a year at the start of each of the two world wars, in 1914 to 15 and 1939 to 40. And I like to think that all those distinguished statesmen, if they were alive today, would be huge fans of the Patchwork Foundation. Its events have been attended by more than 3,000 youth and women leaders from the black, minority and ethnic communities. They've involved participants from right across the country, those from over 15 cities: London, Glasgow, Edinburgh, Cardiff, Swansea, Brighton, Oxford, Southampton, Portsmouth, Sussex, Doncaster, Sheffield, Leicester, Nottingham, Bolton, Birmingham. I could go on, but you'll be delighted to hear that I won't. And they come from over 20 ethnic backgrounds: Pakistani, Indian, Sri Lankan, Bengali, Mauritanian, Afghani, Turkish, Tunisian, Egyptian, Israeli, Palestinian, Jordanian, Iraqi, Iranian, Libyan, Yemeni, Nigerian, Somalian, Sierra Leonean, Kenyan and South African. And they included representatives of all the major faiths: Christian, Jewish, Muslim, Hindu and Sikh. Our thanks to all of them for wanting to get involved, and also to our two other patrons, Baroness Tanni Gray-Thompson and John O'Brien, and board members Andrea Cooper, Chief Executive of UpRising, Jonathan Freeman, the National Director of Mosaic, which was founded by the Prince of Wales, Daniela Shaw-Gabe, Yasmin Walji of Hogan Lovells, Yasmin Akhtar of 3FF, Shabir Anderi, Sophie Stevens, Senior Organiser for Citizens UK, and also Simon Woolley, the founder of Operation Black Vote. And each year, MPs from across the country work closely with their local deprived and minority communities. Through the MP of the Year awards, Patchwork highlight those MPs who have been nominated by individuals or by grassroots communities and selected by an independent panel of judges as MP of the Year. The MPs are judged by their work in 5 key areas. 1, deprived communities, including white working class communities. 2, faith communities. 3, ethnic communities. 4, sexual orientation communities. And finally, other communities traditionally excluded by the political process. There's a panel of independent judges, as I said, made up of Patchwork board members, and I have the very greatest of pleasure in declaring that nominations are now open, and you can nominate as many MPs as you like at patchworkfoundation.org.uk. And the ceremony for the winners will be held at the Speaker's House on the 5th of November. A quick word now about Patchwork's research and analysis of the 2013 MP of the Year award. Members of Parliament, by their very nature, work within many spheres, and this leads to multiple opportunities to successfully engage underrepresented communities. Our evidence base shows MPs successfully engaging underrepresented communities in 5 broad ways. They are as follows. 1, being out in the community and visibly engaging with underrepresented communities and their issues. Being out nationally as well through working with national organisations and using national platforms. 3, working with councils and within Parliament to represent minority community interests. 4, addressing international dimensions affecting underrepresented and particularly diaspora communities. And finally, creating a communications loop feeding back successful engagement to raise awareness and to promote additional engagement. Our analysis demonstrated that the most successful MPs are those who coordinate their work across all of these areas. Each category of engagement was inclusive of a range of differing approaches to engagement, the most successful of which have been highlighted by the Patchwork Foundation as good engagement practices. There was also evidence to show that those MPs who are good at communicating their work through social media via Twitter, Facebook, email, and websites did better than others. So there may be other MPs who are doing great work, but who are not communicating this in the best way. And that's a really great message to actually take out there, to take back to Parliament. To encourage all of them to even greater efforts, we are going to hear now from MPs who have worked very closely with Patchwork.